Leader of
if
men.
needs be, a strength 4 sidestep blodge on the line, on the edge, if you see what I mean, is wonderful.
Yeah, I think you're right. The jokes is small.
He's saying surely the team captain is a leader of men. No, it's MB.
That's oh shit. No. Tuesday.
Follow me,
Baby,
everything is
so
alright.
right. Round 1.
Hilariously, for anyone that understands football, Crystal Palace have chosen to start Christian Benteke against us. So obviously they're not playing with a striker.
What?
But Christian Benteke, he used to be a footballer.
Ah.
Now he's just a chubby bloke that wanders around at the front of football teams.
Do we want to do nav defense with? Don't really want the big guys. Good. Can he bully the mummies?
He is no Emil Heskey, that's true.
Then he needs to block with Croxigo.
Yeah, absolutely, Muppet. I'd take his money to sit around eating pies and rarely play football.
Yeah, we don't want that.
So what are we looking at here? We're looking at, obviously, Core coaching a Tier 1 team because he decided randomly what everyone got.
I didn't want to.
I got Goblins, you got Undead. Nice, interesting. Against Lizards. Oh, so it is Tier 1. And people tell me that this Hargrim fella can coach a bit.
Oh, it's too small, though. He's tiny. We can call him Tiny Tim.
Corfoel with the state-of-the-art Undead team here. Naked Mummies, of course. Guard on his whites to make them mobile and put the guard where you want, rather than on mummies where they'll get completely marginalised and made irrelevant fairly quickly.
I don't even like it.
And it's all about what you do with your ghouls. Do you have 4 ghouls? Do you have 3 ghouls? Do you go blodge ghouls? Do you go with a sure hands ghoul? Do you go with a Rog ghoul? And Core, of course, has chosen 2 blodge and 1 Rog. A little bit unusual for Core. He does like his Rog pieces. But we've also seen him at times with Rog pieces find them just not quite as bangy as he likes them to be. Because obviously they do quite a bit of the hitting with guard on the whites. So if your mummies have already got targets, and ideally you want them to have, then your ghouls are often the ones doing the hitting, whilst the whites are shoring things up and putting the guard where you need it to be. So 2 block gives him a ball carrier and another one that can hit. And then, of course, a Rog one for ball sacks.
Oh, that's funny. So, and Hargrim is gone with 4 block and a frenzy.
Yeah. Lizards, of course, being probably the most tedious team on tabletop.
No, he hasn't. He put in a real team. But he took that team because that's funny, because Bren won the water ball with that roster he was showing. But he didn't actually take it. Oh, that's some juicy rocks coming flying there.
I'm not surprised Dio is tempted by Water Bowl because obviously it's a Tier 1 heaven, and anyone not taking a Tier 1 can't really be expected to be competitive, so there is a way to massively metagame.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some really tasty games because of that against some top coaches using Tier 1 teams. If that's your thing, Water Bowl should be lots of fun. The Skeletons. Someone's asking why the Skeletons, Core.
Because they're fast!
Or are you going to?
Because they're fast!
Because they can keep up with the play in a way that zombies just can't. Because against anything with claw, which you don't face a lot on tabletop,
no.
Then AV7 with thick skull, the maths is pretty similar to AV8. It's fine. But it's about the speed of getting the foul in exactly where you want it and from the position you want it. It's about keeping up with the ball sometimes if you need something screened.
Yeah, and especially in this match, I took one in just because Lizard is bloody annoyingly fast.
Yeah, they really are. Everything on Lizard has at least reasonable speed.
Oh,
And
pick
some
up
of it is
failed.
stupid.
Okay.
He is banging on you.
He is banging on me, and now it's time to
Banging
bang
on the
back.
big core drum. What a picture. What a picture. Now, of course, this is the huge weakness of lizards, is that they carry on a skink. And particularly with only 5 skills, they cannot afford sure hands. They can't afford a blodge skink. The only things you can put on skinks is sidestep, and why would you? It's just very little use at this level.
Can we bang? Can we bang it on a skink, skink, skink?
She bangs, she bangs.
Let's go for it. So that's probably not worth it.
Shoving the meat shields right in there where they're at least going to
Yeah.
keep some lizards where they
Yeah,
want to
really
be.
annoying that he
Not moving about.
cast one and stunned one was
Yeah.
pretty.
Well, AV8, sometimes it's golden, sometimes it's paper.
Yeah, we need to go for it with that one.
The Arsenal making hard work here of Crystal Palace. Not fun.
And I'm talking about blitzing with ghouls. Ugh. That was not the dice we were looking for.
Blitzing with ghouls is not ideal in, say, a CCL format. But if you've built blodge ghouls, and as I said, if you've put guard on your whites, of course you can still blitz with the whites. But often
Forget.
that extra move from the ghouls really makes it, the right piece to be doing it with. Plus, the whites have regen. The whites are much easier to leave in place. They've got decent armor. They can regen. Whereas your ghouls, you perhaps want to hit and run with.
If he gets me free, ooh, I'm gambling that. Forget. Armor 7. So defense, why not? Fuck's sake. We tried that a couple of times this evening. Having to make 2. Oh well.
Now, the reason that the core put both of those in rather than trying one and seeing if it worked was, of course, he had to make the second one. He wasn't going to leave himself on the edge. Skinks being quick enough to get over there with assists and serve him.
Yeah, even the I was in range of those for the potentially from the frenzy if he really wanted it as well.
Yeah.
But I just
But you've got to try and get hold of the skinks before they get into the Saurus pack. So getting something around the side, I think, is something I would have tried.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying using the reroll for it then failing again.
Yeah.
At the next one.
All that cost and no real gain. And now he's monstering the mummy that is up. And of course, the other thing it did is leave the other white down, which would have moved up next. But was that going to do a go for it as well? Is that why it didn't move further?
No, it used assist to get the 2 dice and the big fellow to start with.
Right.
So he was gone. It was last piece.
Again, for a newer player, a Dimmy G or something, you would still hugely advise that, do the safe stuff first. But like all rules, there's times to break it. There is times to do, a stand-up at the end of the turn if you're going to be doing something you're perhaps going to slightly risk with it, or if you think the position is going to change. The rules that we teach newer players are not always the same for advanced play.
So he can stand up and get in there. I kind of still like tacking the blockless one with my ghoul. I'll do that again. So the whole game,
absolutely.
He did just
burn
me.
The re-rolls.
Yeah, it did just burn me on it, but
yeah, but it didn't casualty. It was only it was advantage him, but it's a single point, not a home run.
Yeah.
It's a bunt, not a home run. There we are. There's a full analogy with proper sports and everything.
Oh shit. Is that a go for it as well? So that's 1 go for it. Ghoul is 2 go for it, but it starts, it's better hunting the ball.
Muppet Pac-Man likes his dog fights, his hair coursing, of course, other blood sports.
Yay! Mommy's back. Do, 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 do. Here comes stupid ghoul. Oh well, that's fine. But yeah, that Croc's going out just means this is all about trying to tie up his pieces.
Absolutely. Just try wherever you can to stop that movement that lizards
Oh,
have.
fake
Of course,
skull!
going with a
Ooh.
Going with a 4-block, 1 frenzy roster. He hasn't got a lot of movement built in. He's going to have to block things off other lizards to get them mobile at times.
Yeah, we
And
try.
of course, sucking rerolls. If you can possibly suck rerolls, that's always useful. Hargrim's got 3 here, which is nice.
And now he's going. Oh! He's getting punished! And he's getting really harshly punished. Oh la la! What is this madness? Boys, girls, lads, boys. Oh, we can even. Fuck's sake, there's so much I want to do now.
Yeah, I was going to say now it's a question of how many cool and fun things do we do and what order we do them in. Yeah, Hellboy hugely punished there for that 1 in 9.
But it's 2 go for it, but if I do 2 go for it, I get 4 dice on the ball.
I mean, I didn't mind moving the skink back to put some extra coverage around that ghoul, but then I think I'd have dodged off.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was still a fail, but I think the fail state's better.
2 plus 2 plus, and then we get 4 dice, but we cannot meet the ball up anyway. So
Sorry, Hellboy, Hargrim.
I think we just blitz with take the safe one. We've done so many go for us already.
Starting to realise that I've absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, and I make it up as I go along. Damn. The problem is when Core's busy, he's normally doing the sensible stuff that I just agree with. Now I've actually got to think of things to say, because he's coaching.
Yeah, and we probably need to stop me from doing more forgetting to score stuff.
Yes, probably do. Yeah, that's suboptimal is the key phrase for that, I think. Now, are we going to come for that ball? I presume we are. Just going to get that other little zombie up and confuse the picture even more beforehand, aren't we? There we go, round the backside of that skink. Grab it by the tail and get the other ghoul moving.
And now we can do some mummy hitting.
And of course, rude at this point to have the ball on the ground and still have the blitz available. But it allowed that ghoul to just move the skink somewhere even worse and get away with the ball. Interesting. I might have curved the run round the back of the skink there.
I wanted to get away from that Saurus over here.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yep.
Are we even hitting any of those? 1 dice, 1 dice. If I hit him down, he can move. If he doesn't go down, but if he goes down... No, I think the mummies are fine now.
Has he dropped the good gaming, Garion? I missed that. Was that popped in chat, really?
No, BL, GF. Oh, I think it's just...
I mean, I do agree this is not an ideal position, but it's very early for the good game.
Yeah, that Croxy goal just completely changed the picture.
Yeah, massively so.
Me being able to, like, even if he gets the ball free now, he needs to use all his skinks to do it.
Yeah.
And then my 2
His
block
recovery
goals.
options are going to be bleak. His getting Saurus is there, looks fairly bleak.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the big guys are the hard part. I guess. Oh dear. Okay, we can do that.
Don't like that hitting angle he's chosen. It's alright he didn't get there, but the angle he was choosing I didn't like anyway.
No, not particularly. Ding dong.
Boom.
The only question is actually if we. No,
Yeah, do we score or do we just stall up and try and bang on him a bit with the mummies?
we cannot score this turn.
No, and no need.
You think? But we have a go for it to make it a taste the 3 dice with the wall carrier. So I think we'll do that.
I've got this beautiful position where I've also got the Arsenal commentators in my ear, and they've just apologised for inappropriate language. And I briefly thought, was that me? But of course, it was the mics picking up one of the footballers.
Got
Swearing,
one.
what an awful thing for people to have to hear.
Um,
Fucking awful.
yeah, let's go for the one without block. Keep the pack nice and close.
So in hitting the one without block, would you take a both down and hope the mighty blow does a thing? Your AV9 weaker against his AV9?
Probably not as they look like right now. He got a rowdy Sarrow dodge out now though.
Yes, I think I'd do that. I think that's the only real option for him.
Yeah, that's why we take a one
It's
die
horrible,
more.
but if it's anything that's going to work, then it's what you do.
Yeah. Hence why I tried the 2 1 dices.
Yep. And particularly when the first one was a both down, there's just no harm in doing the second one.
No, the blocking angle is the right angle.
Not the end of the world.
And he's staying, so that's fine. Which means we can probably stall a turn more.
You were thinking KFoged should... Foel, isn't it? That's what I've been told. The core should drop the early good game. Yeah, that would just be rude, though. I don't believe in rude. let their morale collapse all by itself.
Talking about rowdy blocking here. But that's not...
The furthest I'd go is just dropping in a little... Yes, I've had lovely dice, haven't I? Oof, I feel sorry for you. But then Hargrim did open with the bad luck get fucked, which I don't see the need for it. I think it shows weakness.
I think in this case, it's more the case of we know each other.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's joking, but I'd rather beat someone when they have good luck. It's even more dispiriting.
Okay, so what do we do here? Does it actually matter? Do we score this turn? We can probably wait 1 turn more, right? But it's a...
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear, Muppet. When I say good luck, have fun, I mean, I hope you have good luck because I'll beat you anyway. And I hope you have fun whilst losing in whatever way you can find that fun. But I'm still wishing you good luck and having fun, and I mean it.
Kill the little skink.
And it just doesn't happen, though, does it?
It didn't.
Other than the one you've already killed. Presumably he doesn't have, with 3 rerolls, he presumably doesn't have an apoth.
That's Apple.
Oh, well then he doesn't have a bench. Yes, it's one of those 3 has to go, isn't it?
I guess there's no need for him coming straight down with that one. You can stand up. I should probably have standed that mummy up a long time ago. And you can try to suck a reroll more.
Absolutely should have stood that mummy up a long time ago.
That's the problem, Bloodful 2, where it's out of your view. It's a little bit what is it called?
Yeah, Blood Bowl 2, I don't love the view.
Object consistency? Like the thing
where someone who an entire half just forgot they had 1 player. It just completely forgot.
They're
doing nothing.
I have tried where I was actually suddenly needed a safety and realized I had like a deep pickup. And because it was like a touchback or something, you didn't move him. So suddenly you needed a deep guy, and he was standing there.
Muppet, of the 3, I would choose to not coach lizards because it's incredibly boring coaching lizards. But if I had to choose in NAF style, I mean, I think I'd probably trust the AV9 and the Shaw had the thick skull on the Crocs. I'd want a bench. I think 3 rerolls it's nice to have, it's not a need to have. An apoth is a nice to have and not a need to have.
And now he uses it. I think he's tilting a little bit, our good friend.
I would probably want the bench, because if they get amongst the skinks, then a 12th person is just really useful. As we're seeing here, when the skinks go down, they don't survive.
When a skink go down.
I mean, I haven't coached a lot of lizards on tabletop because I thought they'd be quite dull, and then I did coach them in the Fumble edition of TSD, in the one season of that's run, and I just found them incredibly dull. And I found I often didn't need my third reroll, but would have liked a bench. So I guess if I had to give something up, I might give the third reroll up. You've usually got the speed with the skinks to cover a bad pickup.
Got the turns. We can power reroll. Could have maybe ended up needing it for this go for it. Nope, it's fine. Because now he's so close. Now we doesn't. I'd rather not score now, so there's 2 KOs, so he doesn't get 2 chances at the crocs.
DBG, a fairly unknown no mark of a coach called Store.
Oh, not him.
The ESD Fumble edition.
He's. What have we done since we need to have him around all the time?
No, he's everywhere, isn't he?
He's on TSD. He's in Fumble.
Yeah, he's the COVID of Blood Bowl.
Oh, okay, now I don't need to mark those anymore. Now they're out of the game.
And it was a thrilling final between Wood Elves and Wood Elves.
Actually, are we fouling that big guy now?
However, it was Store versus Fixie, as I always call him, but F13. Apparently, he is one of the very best coaches out of France and a lovely, lovely guy. Almost as nice as Justicium. And as good a coach. I mean, Fixie is fantastic at the Blood Bowl. Store, of course, not too terrible at it too. So, I mean, despite being Wood Elf versus Wood Elf, it was a cracking final.
One, 2, 3, 4. I think we are. It was kind of rude now he used the arrow not to jump on that big dude.
Yeah, absolutely, Muppet Pac-Man. If you've got particularly the 6 Saurus block or 5 Saurus block build, then you probably just don't need that third rerun. And you can probably even use it on a pickup if you really need to. But you've got the speed that if the pickup fails in the backfield, unless you're against elves or something, you can just let it go and pick it up next time.
Let it go, let it go.
Everyone complains when I sing on streams. But that's not going to stop me.
Yeah, it's a bit the same here.
Yeah, I do. Well, particularly if I stream or do comms, I do what I want. If people don't enjoy it, go somewhere else. I'm never going to place the crowd. I used to, I don't anymore because my partner doesn't like it. I used to occasionally go to casinos, mainly to try and find a ring poker tournament or something. But used to play a little bit of blackjack.
I played,
which I'm all right at. It's probably the best of the casino games odds-wise if you know how to play and what your odds are.
Yeah, I can play blackjack all night. Which
Yeah,
is why which is why I don't go to casinos anymore.
Which is why I don't go to casinos too. And people can bet behind you, and I might have £5 down the minimum bet on a hand of blackjack, and the person might bet behind me £30. Do you know what? It's still my hand. I still get to pick what I do.
Yeah.
I feel the same as spectators. If you want to come and enjoy what's going on, great. But the person playing gets to decide what they're doing. It's their game, not yours.
So no skink gets up.
Now, there's a couple of people in chat saying you should do something called remember to score on turn 8. I've heard that it's quite useful for winning Blood Bowl games.
Yeah. I'll think about it. I'm not convinced. I heard it's overrated.
Yeah, me too. There has been times where I really didn't want to face a turn 8. I mean, this obviously your turn 8 and he only gets one set of
it's perfect.
Of KOs. But there are times where I've looked at it and thought, do you know what? I'd much rather have one set of rolls on those KOs. I don't want to take 3 hits on the line of scrimmage here.
It would be rude.
I think I've got, particularly if I'm if I think I've got the second half in hand or something, then maybe there's times I haven't scored deliberately. Very
It-
rare, but it is an option.
It's rude when you're hitting one of these few non-block to not take both down, right?
At this point, yeah, definitely. Just make it a fun game.
I had block, so I don't know how fun it is.
More
Tri-
fun with the mummy.
Three dicing.
And another one of those things I'm collecting that other people have said that I wish I was smart enough to have said. I particularly love Sean to do it sometimes.
Crocs is back.
That's a great motto to go through Blood Bowl with. When we teach newer players, we'll say never do this, never do that, and the real answer is except sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, scoring in the middle, very, very toxic. You've been outed for your toxic showboating before. We all know it. There's no point hiding it anymore. It's a rep you're never going to lose.
It's the
And
most.
particularly to do it in an L shape rather than just in on the closest routes to that score.
Yeah, but of
Absolutely
course.
toxic. Hargrim will be raging. He'll be punching up at the table he's sat under.
Yeah, he's probably sitting on a pillow to reach the table.
Do they have special keyboards for people that only have arms a foot long? Is that?
I'll imagine so, right?
Sure. I mean, they have special laptops. My 4-year-old had one. It's called a Leapfrog, I think. Had really bright blue keys on a white background.
Oh, cool. I like that. That sounds almost trendy. Okay. I should potentially use a block ghoul instead of my wrestle ghoul. So that.
Yeah, Muppet. It is always tempting to showboat the way that Core did, but of course, many a time I've seen people do that, miscount, and then be going in on their 9th space and fail that go for it. So just be careful with your toxic showboating. That sometimes you'll take a accidental bad decision and cost yourself something.
I was about to say we might have a game here with that Pits Invasion, but his only skink is down as well.
Yeah, but that's still a much better pitch invasion for him. Pitch invasions, of course, with the touchback, that really doesn't help him. Had it been anywhere on the field, that might have been useful. But as you said, one skink, he'd have to run it with a screening wall like an American football runner does. And that would just thin his line of scrimmage to the point where getting past him would be incredibly easy.
Which none?
But with 5 of your guys down and only 2 of his, that's suboptimal, definitely. But of course, the turns really, really matter on a pitch invasion. Even if it's 6 and 6, it isn't, because 6 of them get back so much quicker than the other 6 and get relevant and get back in the game. And by the time the ones that act second hear the lizards stand up, even with Core being in a very bad position with how many of his are down, he'll be fully recovered by the time those other 2 get relevant. And of course, with one of them being a skink, it's horrific. It means that the lizards have movement but no agility. Even if the ball was sat in the middle of them, you'd just sit and laugh as they can't pick it up.
It's more timing of luck, I think. Like you can have if you elf, if every second 2+ you roll where you have dodge works, then it's absolutely fine. But you can roll the wrong 1/1 in the completely wrong time, and it fucks everything.
Absolutely. I mean, my answer is yes. You can win if you have the bad luck.
Yes.
Because, to give you your simple answer, I mean, obviously it's harder than against someone who isn't at the same coaching level. And it's harder than if you've got the better dice. My plan A is always be luckier than the other guy. People think I'm joking. I'm not. That's plan A. If it works, you don't need another plan.
Yeah.
If you're just a lot luckier than the other guy, this is definitely the easiest way to win a Blood Bowl game. But if I'm at the same skill level as someone I'm facing and I'm having worse luck, then I need to be super careful and hope they get a tiny bit of bad luck on one key moment, as Core said. And that I can then get that swing happening at just the right moment, that I get just enough dice at that one moment. And then I can probably cope with some bad luck in the rest of the game. Some of it's also race dependent. Some races are less reliant on a bit of luck. Dwarves, for example, just as something I'm fairly familiar with, having AV9 and Thick Skull can mean you can ride some bad blocking dice, particularly. because you're much less likely to go off the field. If you're pro elves and your 2 dice are coming up double skulls, that can be really brutal. So even bad luck can affect different races in different ways. And that's one of the beautiful things about Blood Bowl, is it is so complex in how everything interacts, and that includes luck and coach skill, as well as races, team design, skill choices, positioning, planning, turn ordering. There's so many factors involved that even the luck can be mitigated, even between the very best coaches.
Oh, skink is up. Skink is up. We have a skink sighting.
Yeah, absolutely, Muppet. And particularly in NAF, that is huge. People just hate that, taking that double skull. Even as a first action, sometimes you can look at the game state and say, do you know what? I'm going to eat that. It really doesn't matter. My ball's safe. My position isn't going to collapse that much, even giving him 2 turns in a row.
In my game, actually my drive against Kill Bill, my third line of scrimmage block was a double skull. I basically had to eat against, because against wolves, I don't have the players. I cannot use a reroll that early on that. That's just not.
No, and you're going to need probably some rerolls for dodges at some point, so you just can't afford to lose them. And again, with Wood Elves, that may slightly change the risk profile because you've got more speed, so you perhaps will need less dodging. And also it's AV7 going down rather than AV8.
Is this a problem?
Again, even the race changes where the luck, how important that luck is.
I think I can eat this.
Yeah, I think you probably can. I mean, you're in a very dominant
because
position.
if I can get that skink out, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if he knocks the ball over, what's he going to do? It'll just be hilarious watching the lizards try and pick it up with their tail.
He can hit me now from the bound. He can get in from the back, but it's not a good blocking angle, and it's non-block.
Yeah, and his recovery options don't exist.
Well, I got another ghoul standing ready. Oh, if there's been anything else, but I was kind of forced into that one. Ooh, another skink takes zombie thing. I think it's a good game for Regen. Suck.
Well, I mean, it's also quite fun watching the Undead get banged on. That is always good. But at this point, it just doesn't look like it's going to achieve very much. He can bang you entirely out, and we can sit there for 4 turns watching him not able to pick a ball up.
Let's see.
Yeah, regen never works when it doesn't matter at all, but always works when it does against me, I find.
Why that push direction? Is that a block piece? It's not a block piece. Need him up. I need him up. I need him up.
I'm quite pleased from Hargrim in some ways, because now, of course, he can just talk about how he had 4 dice on the ball and it didn't work. Which means, if he goes on Reddit, they'll agree that he should have won the game.
It's not like my dice at the moment are particularly hard.
Although, of course, he would also say he has won this game because the ball is based, so it doesn't matter if he didn't get it down.
No. And I'm a little bit of a problem because I cannot get anywhere.
Yeah, I had this earlier today. I played a not particularly brilliant Undead coach. Smashed him up in the first half, served half his team, took his ball away, scored. And second half, he started with 10. I got him fairly quickly down to 9, then eventually 8. And I still had a full team on the pitch. But I just couldn't get anywhere. Every block was either a 1 in 9 or a push, and all of his were POWs. No, I haven't been smashing up Core today. He's been being smashed up by everybody else, Dimmy. You walked into Casper, Mr. Page, earlier, didn't you?
Last night before going to bed.
Right. Still counts as today, I think, in terms of
when
it actually happened.
In my world, it's until you sleep.
This actual calendar day.
I remember being a student.
And then this morning you had Ducky, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was no offense to Ducky, but that was a bit like stealing candy from a kid.
BB2 thinks that in packing. And he's just had 2 games against Bill Waltz in a row, who has currently the top dwarf team in the CCL ladder. and both ended in draws. So a 0-0 followed by a 1-1. But no, I haven't been banging on today.
And we don't talk about what happened in the first of the games.
Well, I think most of chat knows, hence they're reminding you to score, Core.
Oh
The
dear.
game isn't won by just having the ball and going, oh, look at me, I'm in a good position with the ball. You actually need to score it eventually. Did you lose to Eliod today, Core?
No, I did the other day. His vampires walked all over me. It was one of those where Hypnocheat was
No,
was
skill should be outlawed.
was a real thing. Oh my god.
Luckily, of course, Vampire's so dominant that they've completely destroyed them in Blood Bowl 2020. Until, and I hope this is true, I believe we will get a spike for them and sort that out, because right now they look unplayable.
Whoa, I need to stop this. This is getting
Zug
that'll-
and Zara, I'm not sure that's the right answer against Dwarfs that rowdy, Garion, but we'll see. It's certainly that's, if they high roll, that could do some nice things.
So what is that? That's 2 go for it. This is just
Zug I don't hate, but he's also not that hard if you can get enough of the pack around
okay.
him. His strength seems to be that much of an issue. Zara's at least got some moves, but her blodge is useless against dwarfs. Certainly, I wouldn't sacrifice a wizard to have those two against dwarfs. I definitely want a wizard against higher dwarfs.
He deserves that after spunking 90k on that bloody wizard. Actually, he didn't really get anything out of the wizard. I think
No,
he
he
may
didn't
have.
get a lot out of it. I mean, I predicted when it would come, and it did. But it was a position
he
that,
win?
unless he got at least 3 of the Dark Elves and then blocked better, was never going to really help him much.
Yeah, maybe waiting and holding it a bit too long.
And you say spunking it. I mean, if you're going for a run, you need every little edge you can get.
Yeah,
It's those
I'm fine.
high games at the end of the run where you need to try and get a win or at least a draw. And as dwarfs, you're not very likely against Dark Elves to lose pieces. You'll get some money back with a draw or even a loss, so you can spend a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I'm happy doing the same. So
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, it's nice in the chalice that's prevented, that you have to be financially a bit more honest. But on the run to get there, all's fair in Blood Bowl.
Do we need to do
As I've said
anything?
many times. Oh, I don't think so. You just bang it in, don't you? Bang it in, take the win. What you should definitely do here is go for a 2-die on a piece that really just doesn't matter, with a piece that doesn't have block.
This was a weird game, but pretty fast. We did. When did we start?
Yeah, no,
Got
just after 8, I think. Yeah.
And he got a skink again. Boo.
Are we still talking about the TSD builds after this?
Yeah, if you have time.
No, I've got all the time in the world, so I'm just going to have a quick cigarette so that we can do that without too many interruptions, because this game's done and done. With all the elves coming back, doesn't matter if he bangs on your hair, does it? Oh, all the undead coming back, doesn't matter how much he bangs on you, it'll all be fine.
She bangs.
And he's not scoring too. She bangs, she bangs.
Down we go. Down we go. Can okay, that's only one go for it. Well, yeah, why not? 2 turns, 2 rerolls. And snake. Into another removal. Woohoo. Gets the pow. All the long way around. Go, go, go. No pow. Guess just because we can, we should probably do that. Get 1 dice. Into dodge, into hit. I'm playing lizards. Should I reroll that? Maybe. Oh, maybe not. Still a chance because I didn't stun him, it doesn't really matter. Still 1, which is the only thing that matters in a TSD. I can cheer. GG. And he didn't get it. Boo. Five armor breaks. Woohoo. TD diff doesn't matter. The only tiebreaker we got is head to head. Head to head and followed by random. That's why people can concede if the game is complete.